everyone. Thanks so much for Director of Operations for Workamper News. And today you're joining in today. I'm joining us for a live work camping webinar about work camping at Yellowstone National Park. So today I'm joined by Eilish, who works in the HR department for Delaware North, who operates some of the general stores inside Yellowstone National Park. And she's going to tell us all about what work camping at Yellowstone really means. But before we get started, I do want to point out that we are recording the webinar today, so we'll make it available in the media library online at workamper.com. And then I also want to point out that in your GoToWebinar control panel, you have a little question box where you can type in your questions. And then once Eilish is done with her presentation, we'll go into a FAQ mode and we'll go through your questions one by one and get you those answers that you need. So without further ado, I want to say welcome. Welcome, Eilish. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Cherie. Again, my name is Eilish and I work in the Human Resources Department for Delaware North at Yellowstone. So welcome. We are glad you have joined us today to learn more about Yellowstone. I hope to be able to answer any questions you may have, and if I don't during the presentation, I hope to be able to answer those during the question segment at the end of this presentation. So the point of this presentation is to give you an idea of what it's like to work and live in Yellowstone National Park. So why work in Yellowstone, you ask? Well, here on the screen, you can see a few reasons of why you might enjoy working and living in Yellowstone for the summer. So live the adventure. As you can see on the screen, we're going to go over a lot of different topics to help you understand what it's like to work and live in Yellowstone National Park, as well as how to apply. So Delaware North. Delaware North is a global leader in hospitality and food service. As you can see on your screen, we operate along sporting, airport, and gaming and entertainment industries. Delaware North is one of the largest privately held companies in the United States, and we have over 60,000 talented associates across the world. We have a variety of subsidiaries that provide different industry services. We here in Yellowstone are a part of the Parks and Resort subsidiary. In addition to Yellowstone, Delaware North provides recreational services in some of the most beautiful and interesting areas in the country, including Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Parks, Grand Canyon National Park on the South Rim, Shenandoah National Park, the Kennedy Space Center, and then Niagara Falls State Park. Our Yellowstone operations encompass both the Yellowstone General Stores and the West Yellowstone Hotels. We're going to take a closer look at the Yellowstone General Stores inside of Yellowstone. So the general stores encompass 12 stores inside of the Yellowstone National Park boundary, as we have the support operation in the town of West Yellowstone. Our stores are truly general stores. We provide visitors a full array of gifts, apparel, groceries, camping supplies, jewelry, and food services. Each location has its own character and Yellowstone features. It's common to hear returning employees from every one of the 12 stores say they wouldn't consider working anywhere else. Their own location in the park is the best. Our store dates vary, opening late April through early July and close early as September through early November. We have a variety of dates available for hiring throughout that period. The longer, the better chances for being hired. But tell us when you're available, and we'll try to find you a good. So our associates. We bring together a group of enthusiastic, diverse, and hardworking associates of all ages and backgrounds with a shared goal of providing exceptional guest services. We have retirees, college students, international students, all working and living together. Yellowstone National Park has over 4 million visitors from all over the world each year, and we strive to provide exceptional memories to each of them that we encounter. It is hard work in a busy environment, but many consider that a trade-off to be able to wake up in Yellowstone every day. So how we live. Even with 4 million visitors a year, Yellowstone is a remote wilderness area. Our associates live in or near their work location. We have either dormitories or RV sites. Most RV sites are within walking distance to the store, with a few a little farther. This would be discussed during the time of interview. Site assignments are made by management and are based on the specifications of your RV. Our RV sites can accommodate up to 45-foot long RVs. All RVs must be self-contained, either a motorhome, fifth wheel, or trailer. Per the National Park Service, tiny homes are not allowed in the RV parks. These RV sites are not fancy. They are adequate and provide the basic needs. RV campgrounds are shared with Xanterra, the Yellowstone Park Service Station, the National Park Service, and then ourselves, Delaware North. These campgrounds are not the public campgrounds. The site offers full hookups, water, sewer, electric. Electric is 30 amp and is charged based on your usage. Site charges are payroll deducted, varying from $35 per week to $75 per week, depending on the site. Electric charges vary per month, ranging from $10 a month to $90 plus per month. And again, this depends on your usage. Propane is only available at one in-park location, but you are able to purchase propane at a few of the service stations within the park boundary. Pets are allowed per National Park Service regulations, 2 per RV, never to be left unattended outside. There are limited places inside the park where you are allowed to take your pets. If you have visitors during your time in Yellowstone, they can reside with you in your RV as long as cars do not get excessive and block other RV sites. No tents or additional campers are allowed to park on your RV site. Some constraints we work with the size of your RV, the number of sides with slides, and whether there are 1 or 2 working associates living in the RV. For those that do not have an RV and are interested in dorm-style housing, we do offer that. There is shared housing with very basic accommodations. 2 employees to a room with shared bath facilities down the hall. Laundry facilities are available free of charge, and TV is available in an area of the dorm. There are no cooking facilities or pets allowed in the dorm, and the cost of the dorm is $29.50 per week. In our store but one, we offer a meal program. This meal plan offers 3 meals a day, 7 days a week, for $63.50 per person. Is payroll deducted is all to our RVers. The employee rooms are located at either the store or the dorm at each location, within distance from the RV sites. You can enroll in the meal plan once and cancel once during the season. It is a rotating menu. It offers a variety of choices not designed for associates with strict dietary needs. The meal plan is mandatory for our dorm associates. So how we live. Uniforms. Associates must bring their own blue jeans in good condition and appropriate shoes that are neutral in color and cover your entire foot. Most employees wear sneakers or hiking boots. May require a different uniform. This would be discussed over the phone interviews. Appearance standards are conservative. Earrings are allowed, only 2 per ear, and no other visible piercings. For technology, think back about 10 years to the technology that you had then. That is about what we have in Yellowstone. Internet and cell reception are limited in most areas of the park and not available at There are pay telephones available at all of our locations, and satellite television can be received in most RV sites in Yellowstone, as long as there's no physical barriers like trees. Mail. Most of the in-park villages have a local seasonal post office. You are able to get your mail forwarded to the store that you're working at during your time there, but you are unable to forward it back. So be sure to keep mail forwarding about 2 weeks before your departure at the end of the season. Mail is picked up and distributed by the store manager or an assigned staff member the days that is open. For MedCorps, all those working in Yellowstone are required by the National Park Service to participate in a seasonal employee program. Costs $70 per week. This is not insurance, but is intended to provide operating funds to make services available at 3 in-park clinics. Other insurance is primary, but associates do receive discounts on any clinic services. Yellowstone is fairly remote services. Anyone who requires frequent and/or complicated medical services will find it inconvenient. If associates have persistent, we recommend bringing medical notes with you. For groceries, we have basic grocery items available in our general stores, and associates receive 30% off of the items. Most people prefer to stock up at grocery stores outside of the park, and those can be found in the town of West Yellowstone, Montana, Bozeman, Montana, Gardner, Montana, Cody, Wyoming, and Jackson, Wyoming. For those with prescriptions, to receive your medications, we recommend that you get them sent through mail order to your store. The nearest pharmacies would be located in Cody, Wyoming, or Bozeman, Montana. Pharmacies are not available in the in-park clinics. And again, with the pharmacies being in Cody or Bozeman, you're looking at either a 2-hour drive, 3-hour drive, depending on your in-park location. For fuel, diesel, propane, and gasoline are available in surrounding communities and some in-park. The Employee RV Park at Fishing Bridge is the only park with underground liquid propane hookups for associates. Like electric, the cost for propane is paid by the associates and based on your usage. The motorhomes propane can set up an account for liquid propane delivery through AmeriGas based in Gardner, Montana. AmeriGas cannot deliver to RVs with portable tanks, but can rent a large external tank that can receive those route deliveries. Grant and Fishing Bridge gas stations are the only ones inside the park with liquid propane available for purchase. So how we work. Store services are open to guests 7 days a week during the season. Most positions have a 4-day work week, allowing you to have 2 days off during the week to be able to go out and explore the park. Our associates will work full-time hours ranging from 32 to 40 hours per week during those 5 days that you're scheduled. Schedules and days off are set by the store managers at each location. We have split shifts at our stores where you'll get about a 2.5 hour break between the 2 parts of your shift. This is fully staffed during the busier parts of the day. And there's an example of a split shift displayed on your screen. With spouses, our goal is to provide you with the same days off, which typically means that you will be on opposite shifts. We do our best to maintain these parameters. The base wage for our seasonal non-tipped positions is $10.60 per hour. Some positions pay more depending on physicality and increased job duties. All hourly associates are paid weekly on Friday. You are able to receive either a paper check or enroll in direct deposit. Employees working in the warehouse or any of the hotels are considered Montana employees and will be subject to Montana tax withholding. All housing, meals, and health program costs are payroll deducted, already taken out of your paycheck when you receive it. Our jobs are primarily retail and food service positions, but they also include custodial, warehouse and receiving associates, auditors, and employee dining room staff. We hire people for specific positions, but those positions have broad job duties. For example, a cashier may also stock shelves and clean the shelves before placing items on them. Requirements for our jobs are first and foremost flexibility and willingness to work as a team member. Minimum physical requirements are being able to stand for prolonged periods of time, bend, stoop, kneel, and climb stairs, as well as carry 30 pounds and 50 pounds occasionally. All stores are located at altitudes from 6,000 to 8,000. If you are unsure you can live and work at that altitude, be sure to speak with your doctor. For the service, also pass a pre-employment test and background check before they arrive for the season. We will go over this further during the time of interview. So how we play. In Yellowstone, there is an abundance of hiking, fishing, camping, and wildlife viewing that you can do on your days off or after work. Hiking trails in Yellowstone alone. The Yellowstone Co-op Employee Recreation Program, or YSERP for short, is a free service to in-park employees that offers trips around the park, hiking and backpacking, sporting events, talent shows, photo contests, and more. To learn more, you can follow their website at yserp.org. There are interpretive programs offered by the National Service and by Yellowstone Forever. Interpretive programs offered by the National Park Service include campground presentations, guided ranger walks and talks, visitor center, museum display, and these are all generally free of charge. Yellowstone Forever offers educational programs in addition to the National Park programs. These are actual classroom and field. These typically come at a cost, but sometimes they do offer employee discounts. So some of our benefits. Some benefits include waking up every morning and being able to experience the different climates that Yellowstone has to offer. All associates will receive 30% discounts on gift, apparel, and grocery items in the general. This does not include alcohol, tobacco, batteries, or camera equipment. We offer 50% off employee discount days during the season, as well as free entry into Yellowstone National Park and Grand Teton National Park. The intangible benefit of working for a green company and being a part of a group focused at all times on preserving this area that we are lucky enough to call home. Lastly, we offer a completion bonus of $3 a day for every day during your commitment, as long as you successfully complete the agreed upon time frame that is in your offer. If you're still seeking individuals to work at our Lake General store, the dates for this store, the longest duration we have available is May 6th, September 2nd. And the picture in the bottom right-hand corner is the front of the Lake General store. And if you're standing on that front patio in front of those benches, you'll be looking at the left-hand photo on the bottom screen is Yellowstone Lake. Our nights, they are $35 per week for this location. It is a quarter of a mile from the RV site to the store, and there is employee parking available behind the store. Meal at this location, again, that is optional to RVers, but it is available if you are interested. The other store we're featuring this week, they're this Tower General. This is located in the northeastern part of the park, right outside of Roosevelt and Tower Junction. The dates for this store are May 13th to September 29th. All week, and we only nights remaining. The walk is a little bit longer. It's about, I would say, a third of a mile from this. And this does not provide as much parking, so we do recommend that you walk to and from your RV parks to this. With this location, there is also a meal program available. Falls short 100 yards directly behind the store. So it's a great location if you like waterfalls. So both of those here still hiring. So our basic 3 months, usually during peak season months of June, July, and August. We call all applicants that seem to be a full fit and conduct a phone interview. If we're able to offer additional, email an offer packet to you and continue doing most correspondence via email until your check-in date. If you're interested in working in Yellowstone, you'll need to follow the link that is displayed on your screen to complete an application. We only need one application from each person applying. You will be able to attach your resume to the application, as well as include your dates of availability and your store preference. If you're interested in working in Yellowstone, you need to go to the local. You can apply anytime. Applications are currently online. So that is the end of today's presentation. Thank you so much for listening and considering a summer in Yellowstone. Again, actions can be through our website. Just contact us via telephone or email if you have any questions. Now we're going to open up to any questions.
Okay, awesome. Thanks so much. That was, as always, lots to share on camping at Yellowstone. And we're just going to roll right into the questions. So our first one, I think you just said it right there at the end, was about the for work campers.
Yep, so our absolute minimum is 60 days. Typically 3 months is average minimum time frame to have available. And then the max is as long as our season, which would be April to November.
Okay, awesome. And then what's your earliest arrival and latest arrival?
The earliest date we have available at this time is April 15th. And the latest arrival, I believe we're seeking, is about June 15th.
Okay. Everyone has to leave, like all positions wrap up by what date?
November 4th is the longest available date we have.
Okay, awesome. And have any single positions available?
At this time, we do have some positions that are available, and we are trying to fill them. So we will consider RVers at this time.
Awesome, great. So single solos, there still might be some chance of working at Yellowstone this summer. That's awesome. So what is the difference between the $35 and the $70 RV sites?
The $75 ones typically have more amenities available. $55 ones, and then the $75 sites are side boundary. So ours in West Yellowstone, and then our sites for Mammoth and Gardner are both 75. Rest inside the park are 35.
Okay, great. And restrictions on dogs?
We do not. The only restriction is 2 per RV.
2 per RV. Okay. Let's see. The plan. Can you go over what it means to enroll and unenroll one time?
Sure. So if you season on the meal plan, and about halfway through, you decide that you start cooking your own food again, full one, and then let's say a month later, you decide that you no longer want to cook, that you liked that someone was cooking for you, and lay down your room and enroll more time, but you cannot cancel an additional time because you've already canceled once. So opposite of that, you could decide to not be on the meal plan, enroll once during the season, and then if you just change the once as well, but you won't be able to get back on for the duration of your season. So it just lets you try it out.
Okay, sounds good. And let's see, I know you talked about split shifts, but the days off scheduled together?
Yes, so we try to ensure that couples have the same days off. With that, it could mean that during your work week, you're on different schedules or different shifts during the day, just because we want to make sure you can get those 2 days off.
Okay, that makes sense. And then, can you change your job after you arrive?
That is possible. Typically, we do try to keep you in the position you are hired for, because that's what we as HR are planning for. But sometimes there is some options to move around positions, and maybe we find a position that's a better fit for you than we thought in the interview. So there is some possibility, but typically you'll be in the position you're hired for.
Okay. And let's see, we have another question. Okay. And just to be clear, they're all or electric?
They're all full hookup. Electric is paid based on your usage separately.
Okay. Okay. Then let's see. Can you skip from one Delaware North property to the next? Like, can you just go from working camping at Delaware North like all year long?
That is possible. It depends on if the other locations have RV sites available. We have a few people that will go from Yellowstone in the summertime and will go to the Grand Canyon in the winter time and then come back to us. There's lots of options. You'll still have to so a possibility if someone is interested in that option.
Oh, okay. Oh, and then I think we're wrapping it up with questions. Let me see, the last question. Someone wants to know, what is the best part of working at Yellowstone? Let's get your opinion on that.
I would say during my 3 seasons in the park that the best part is just the access that you have to Yellowstone that you don't otherwise have if you're living outside of the park. At least for me, when I was at Canyon, there's an abundance of trails right there, so we literally could leave the dorm and walk down the street and jump on a trail and go hiking. Or driving down to the Tetons was just that much closer because we're in Stone, versus now, since I live in Bozeman, the Tetons are much farther. So really the accessibility that you get just being in Yellowstone makes this whole experience.
Oh, that's awesome. That was a good answer. So how many of those 1,000 miles of hiking trails have you personally done?
Gosh, I haven't counted in a long time. My 3rd summer, I think I did like 150 miles. And I didn't count my first 2. So I've done a lot, but there's still so many trails that I haven't even touched.
That's awesome.
So I'm probably not even a third.
Yeah, question. Do you get discounts on West Yellowstone hotels?
Typically, the only time they provide discounts is if you're checking in, like the night or check-in day, they'll offer reduced rates based on availability, of course. But sometimes they'll offer reduced rates on. But typically during the season, just because it is so busy, they're not able to discount it.
Okay. And let's see. Is there a maximum of vehicles that are allowed on one site?
It really depends on the team. One hold one RV and one car. A lot of the RV parks do have overflow parking. That's possible to park your car where, but you're all with other employees. Typically, we can only accommodate the one RV and one car per site.
Okay, but someone could probably like squeeze a motorcycle or a scooter if they had one with them on their side.
Yep, definitely.
Okay, awesome. And then our last question for today is, okay, if you've signed on for a time period to work at Yellowstone, can you take, I don't want to say a vacation during you signed up for, say like you needed like a week off?
Unfortunately, we are not able to accommodate additional off outside of your 2 days off. Since we are open 7 days a week, it's not to schedule that.
Okay, well, good question then. All right, well, thank you so much, Eilish, for joining us today. I see you on the screen the ways that people can contact with you. So guys, take a second and write that down. We've got their website at www.yg.com. They've got an email up on the screen, and you can also give them a call at 406-586-7593. But that's going to be all for today on this Jobinar. Thank you so much, Eilish, for joining us today. Was there anything else that you wanted to say before we wrap up?
That's all for having me, Cherie.
No problem. Time, guys. Happy working.